In order for the animation of the physical body to occur, a soul must be present. When the soul enters at birth, it is called the natal soul. In most cases, when the natal soul departs from the body, it results in physical death, but not always. Sometimes two souls may have agreed to swap places at a future time, or an emergency decision is made to occupy a body that is preparing to expire. When this takes place, the new soul is called a walk-in. It can occur at any age, depending on the agreements made between the souls and the mission of the walk-in. Typically, the agreement is made prior to incarnation. The walk-in then enters the body after an agreed-upon accident, operation, illness, extreme emotional trauma, near-death experience, or actual death experience. Typically, the new soul will have made an agreement to finish the mission of the previous natal soul, and/or the walk-in comes in with a mission all of its own. Walk-ins most often enter with a mission to help anchor a new, higher vibrational frequency to help shift the consciousness of humanity. The walk-in can also come in specifically to complete or assist in healing genetic patterns, or to clear the karma of the original natal soul. Karma can be understood as patterns of thought and behavior which affect us and those around us. Our actions create energy, and habitual actions reinforce that energy, be it positive or negative. Healing negative patterns through mindfulness and non-judgmental awareness moves us to create positive energy for ourselves and the world around us. Once the healing takes place, the walk-in can more fully embrace its own mission. The missions and goals of walk-in souls vary greatly, but tend to have one thing in common: to be of service and aid in the evolutionary process of humanity and the planet. Sometimes a soul finds itself in a hopeless situation and suffers from depression, addictions, or becomes so far off mission that it cries out to be released from the physical body. This crying out is on a soul level, and the person to whom the soul is attached has no conscious awareness of what is happening, although they may have a sensation that something is different, changing, or needs to change. In these situations, an instantaneous agreement can occur as the natal soul leaves and a new soul enters. Let me be clear. If one reads this and does cry out on a conscious level to be released, this does not automatically trigger a walk-in experience. A walk-in only occurs when the natal soul cannot complete its mission, and/or when it is in the highest and best good of humanity, the planet, and both the natal soul and the walk-in soul. Most walk-in scenarios have been planned for an extended period of time. As previously stated, walk-ins are typically service-oriented and here to help elevate the consciousness of humanity and the planet. Many beings desire to be on Earth at this time to lend support and to hold space for the upcoming mass shift of consciousness. I believe all souls, not just walk-ins that are currently on the planet, are here to experience this shift. Depending on the walk-in, it may take on the personality and/or memories of the previous soul in part, in whole, or not at all. It all depends on the amount of the natal soul that remains to assist during the integration process. There are several different scenarios. 1. The walk-in retains all memories and behaviors of the previous soul. 2. The walk-in retains some memories and behaviors while others are forgotten and are no longer a part of the new soul. Some of the memories and behaviors remain, but are buried deep within the subconscious until the soul is ready to handle the information and/or actions of the host. 3. The walk-in has little to no memories or behaviors of the previous soul. Upon entering, if any of the old behavior patterns remain, they fade quickly, if not instantaneously. This type of soul uses stories, videos, and photographs to evoke memories.
All right, so let me give you my, as I'm listening to her, I said, let me talk about what I just heard. So let's deal with the walk-in questionnaire right quick. So it says, once a walk-in event has occurred, many people are left bewildered for days, months, and even years. Some people may not even be aware that such an event has occurred as they retain the memories of the previous soul. However, they know that something has changed. They feel different. They know things without knowing how or why. They have new tastes in food. Their limits and boundaries have changed. Their behavior patterns change. Their spiritual beliefs dramatically change, or their belief systems change. Some people suddenly disconnect from family and friends and change jobs, get divorced, or move to a new town or city. There are many common traits among walk in souls. Are you one of them? She says. The following is a series of questions designed to help determine if you may be a walk in. Then she talks about please circle the number of all the statements or questions that identify with. I was thinking while I was reading it, that's why I stuttered. Have you or are you experiencing in the following? So before I read this, I do want to make it clear that this is a person, probably with helps of other persons who are disembodied, who have chosen to either leave this plane of existence in their body or avatar. A lot of people don't leave the planet and go to the fourth dimension, which is like, let's call that heaven, or the second dimension, let's call that hell, where people place themselves there because that's what they feel they need to purge themselves of. Bad behavior, people put themselves in hell. Good behavior, they feel like they should be rewarded and they should be with, let's say, Enlil, the god of the Old Testament, or one of the gurus' locations. There's a lot of things as humans, a hue of color that we don't quite understand. So let's see this as just her giving. Let's. Her name is Sheila. Let's see. This is Sheila, just talking from what she knows and what she's been told, because that's how we learn. We learn from others. We don't have to believe, just blindly believe what someone says. And you don't have to test the spirit by any spirit. You just know who you be. And I'm sure a lot of us have help, whether inward or outwardly. I would prefer to be helped outwardly, not inwardly. So that's my goal. My goal is to be a free, absolute mastering, not being mastered. I am that I am, so I don't have to be more than what I want to be. So let's go ahead. Number one, it says, have you experienced a near death experience, major emotional trauma, illness, undergone surgery, and felt totally different after the experience? So I would say a lot of us have had trauma. These days, if they'll say every parent that's over, let's say you're over 50 years old and you have kids, they'll say all the parents over 50 are narcissists. And so since you had a narcissistic parent who was raised in a different era, your parents are narcissists because they just didn't listen to you. So of course these new kids going to say, oh, of course, and a lot of them do have trauma. I'm not saying you don't have trauma, but you just gotta accept that, hey, my parents taught different. They were raised different, and I'm not going to be traumatized behind it. I'm going to look and say they were raised different and then move on, because if you don't move on, you will open yourself up to trauma, bringing in more trauma and more low frequency energy. And there are folks who relish in being still here to help others, and sometimes those persons, because they're of the same DNA, are asked to, I guess, enter into other people. That's why in the New Testament, they were asking, is Jesus John the Baptist coming back from the dead? Oh, did he raise Lazarus from the dead? Because his body stinketh. So there's so many things we could talk about. I'm not saying that these stories are absolutes. I'm not saying that, because I know the man of the pen of man does miraculous things, just like a whole bunch of creators these days in movies. So let's see, it says major emotional trauma. All of us can fit into that. Illnesses, all of us can fit into that. A lot of people dealing with Corey-19 right now can fit into that because that was definitely a geno thing going on, changing the geno, okay, DNA. Undergone surgery and felt totally different after the experience. hmm Number two, do you have friends and families notice changes in your personality? People will say, "Oh, you've changed." Once some people say, "I've been born again." The old me has gone away. The new me has entered. Uh, or just bumped your head and changed. Who knows? Let's continue. Number three, do you suddenly feel differently about your family and friends? Look, that just can come through growing in life, in all honesty. Because a lot of this stuff you could, yes, 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 yeah. Y'all, as you get older, I promise you, you change. So I'm not saying that Sheila's wrong. I'm just saying that please consider that you change. But also consider what she's saying, but also consider what I'm saying as well. Number four, have you made sudden lifestyle changes for no reason? For no reason. That's suitable. No, for no reason. Ooh, that's interesting. Uh, One day you get up and you say, "I'm a woman today," but you were a man yesterday, or "I'm a dog today. I'm going to marry a bridge." Will something shift in your mind? Something happened. There are some people out here that say they are furries and they have breast implant and they put breast in. Maybe someone has walked into you, but the way she's sounding, she's saying like most of them are benevolent. I don't think so. There are a lot of folks out here who have tapped into dimensions, and there are a lot of folks who are like Sasha Fierce. Beyonce talks about Sasha Fierce, and Nicki Minaj talk about she has a little boy in her, and a lot of these people. I would even say people who claim to be bipolar, they may be dealing with a shift in their mind. Someone may have walked in, and I'm not saying you have legions for we are many, type of thing, but that stuff does exist, and sometimes people will try to send things at you in your weak state, emotional state, and hope to oppress you. So you just have to be aware that you need to master yourself. Every day you get up, spend the rest of your life, and I'm the master, nobody else the master. So even if you have from childhood uh, 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 had trauma or hands been laid on you or something, and you received another so-called help, you still need to every day make sure you're the one in charge and not just give over to Sasha fears or give yourself over to uh, those frequencies of personalities that want to live again in your body. These artificial, what they call them, I read a thing about artificial wombs, these shells we live in that's been genoed. I do believe that that's what Corey, who turned 19 in 2022, 2023, this thing that was on television all the time. I think Corey was a way to allow other energies to enter people once they received um, Corey's Corey's expectation of better come to the party. Like you better come to Corey's 19th birthday party, because if you don't, you're a bully. If you don't, you hate the world. If you don't, the whole world went to Corey's birthday party when he turned 19. How dare you say no? I want to be an individual. I don't want to be groupthink. And a lot of people do want to be a collective. They do want to be AI. They do want to be transhuman. They do. They do want to be able to live forever. They do want these shells. Anyway, move forward. Let's see here. Have you ever changed jobs, careers, relationships without a reason other than they no longer feed your soul? Other than they no longer feed your soul. That's a strange word and she just said there, Sheila. You just said, make sure, all I can say is this, make sure that with scenario number 5, make sure that you make notation of what it is you're doing. Because in life you do transition, in life you do change. You change anyway. Because you're not going to stay who you were when you were 9, 12, 14, 18, 23, 33, 44, 54, 64, 74. You change 84. You change 94. You change. So let's move on. Number 6. Are you disinterested in previous hobbies? Y'all. I will say this is so general, so be mindful not to freak out. But I'm going to read what Sheila says because in everything you can learn. Okay. Number 7, have you developed new interests in spirituality? And if you want to go ahead and read while I'm talking, so be. Astrology, tarot, extraterrestrials, or other esoteric topics. With YouTube world and social media world, this stuff gonna come on your feed no matter what. So you can be fed interest through the AI. The algorithm will feed interest. If it slightly thinks you're interested in something, it's gonna give you 5 or 6 videos the next day. Especially if you're out here producing videos and you work every day producing videos, it feeds you what you're interested in. Number 8, are you interested of almost euphoric feelings or expansion, a connection to all things, a feeling of oneness? I think number 8 has to do with just being aware that you're not the body. You're not, this is a game. And maybe on number 8, she's trying to say that you've come to, as they call it, your higher self. Your third eye is awakened to, hey, this little person here isn't really me. This shell isn't me. Number 9, have you had an instantaneous awakening of spiritual gifts? I feel like I've developed the awakening of my spiritual gifts. I've always had gifts, no doubt, always. However, just some things, you've worked on certain things. I know her number 9 is sort of kind of saying, oh, you just got some gifts. But what have you been developing yourself? I would tell people develop yourself, right? Particularly on a calendar format, like a daily planner format, not like in a diary. I'm not the kind of person that does diaries. It's not structured enough. It's just too, put your thoughts down there. No, I need blocks. What are you enthusiastic for? What's your priorities? What's your appointments? What did you eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack? What's your mood today? What's your fitness? Monday through Friday through Sunday. What's your to-do list? I need that kind of, because then I can go back and say, okay, what was I eating that day that may have affected me? Okay, what was I feeling when I woke up that morning? And by the evening time, how was I feeling? What did I eat that day with that? What appointment did I go to the doctor that day? Or did I go to the health food store? What did I do? What was I enthusiastic about that day? And I combine all those things together. So I would say, in order for you and for me to perpetually master our lives, so we won't be mastered by others' walk-ins or television or the media or social media or algorithm or any AI product or these technologies they can have over your house that can actually push in frequency. If you haven't dealt with that, well, aren't you blessed? Let's see, number 10. Have you ever looked into a mirror and not recognized the person staring back at you? I almost laughed at that because, yeah, you recognize a person. I know for me, I recognize a person looking back at me, but you still look and say, what the hell are you doing? Can we get this together? You know it's you. It isn't a different person. It's like, I'm talking to me. Meaning, your brain knows. Your habits seem not to know. It's like the brain knows, hey, we keep doing this? And you say, we. Yeah, because it looks like, how can I be that dumb? How can I be? So your habits almost seem like another person, but it's not. It's, to me, it's just habitual, robotic, rhythmic frequency that you sit in, a flow you sit in, a flux you sit in. But I see what she's saying, because this may be for some people. And if that's the case, hopefully you haven't touched a Ouija board. Hopefully you haven't been conjuring, calling things forth, dabbling into groups and tagging yourself with groups, because that's so dangerous to tag yourself with groups. Any group, pick a group. Group think, group belief. That's the easiest way to get tricked to one of Diddy's parties. Just saying. I'm talking about P. Diddy. I'm talking about, if you don't know who he is, you're in a good place. Okay, let's see. Number 11. Do you remember things you don't know before without studying them? I was reading too fast. You know how in this, because we are eternal, I credit that to being eternal. That when you tell yourself, I already know the answer to this. I already know. I just, I'm sure I've seen it, heard it, it passed my way. So this is sort of kind of how I deal with it. But if you are a person that feels like you are invaded, you might need to listen to number 11, okay? Number 12, have you experienced missing time? Have you? Because, sometimes you're driving and, a good, 10 seconds been passed. I don't think I've ever went past 10 seconds. Anyway. But for people like Beyonce that admits Sasha fears, Sasha probably really takes up a lot of her time, which is sad when you're supposed to have talent. I'm just saying. 13. Do you feel that you don't belong anymore? The reason why people feel like they don't belong, the reason why I feel like I don't belong anymore is because I don't belong with the game. I don't belong with the buffoonerism. I don't belong blind. I don't belong in a group. I don't belong being led. I don't belong with being mastered. I don't need a master. I don't need a Lord. I don't need someone saving me. No, I don't. From what experience? From life? From ups and downs? I don't need saving. As long as I don't condemn myself. Everybody should know how to love. And people say, no, you can't love without a God. Who y'all got all up in y'all? Telling y'all you can't love without a God. Who you got in you that has convinced you can't love without me? Think about it. You can't be forgiven without me. You can't be loved without me. You a filthy, dirty rag without me. You falling short without me. You missing the mark without me. You can't be redeemed without me. You won't see glory without me. You won't have no peace that surpasses understanding without me. Somebody living in you, and it may not be this thing that's so glorious. A lot of folks tagging themselves into one body, and if you leave that body, you're condemned. And these other folks that fall after these gurus that you so enamored about, and then they turn around and now you're engaging in sexual contact with these gurus, and now you're having intimacy with these gurus, whether male or female. And next thing you know, you're qualified to go to Diddy's parties. Okay, so that's just saying. Number 14. Do you intuitively know things that you didn't before? Okay, maybe she's not looking at this as a person. Like for me, this right here for me, it'd be like, well, for me, I'm different because I'm mastering, not being mastered. I'm aware I am that I am. I know I'm an eternal being. I know that there's no one lesser or greater than anyone else. I understand that what looks evil really isn't evil. What looks good really isn't good. I understand that we need to be in neutrality. I know we need to be sitting straight in the zero zone, the void, because you will get to see why all this stuff happens, why people walk and live in certain things, and why it's just the flux they're in. So even though it looks evil, like, from what we objectively say here, from our perspective, what we define evil as, I'm not saying that it's not low down and dirty looking. What I'm saying is, it's a frequency. It's a frequency. There's a frequency that, in a moment's notice, can be moved and shifted out of. A person can be counted out joy, and don't allow those traumas and that chaos to make you something that you're not. Okay, let's go to number 15. Are you hypersensitive to others' thoughts and feelings? You know, that's the reason why I do videos about the zodiac signs, and I talk about deprogramming yourself from your zodiac sign. Because truly, you can say, I don't believe in the zodiac, but well, baby, guess what? Brother, guess what? You still programmed to it. Uh-huh. You still got made in the image and likeness of these Anunnaki, Genode, and and told, you can be like this and you can be like that after they put in you the seed. It was an apple. But anyway, um, ingenuity is a strange thing, because ingenuity is eternal. Ingenuity is meaning that you're waking to who you always have been. And I could say more about that, but it's really you, and it's not some foreign you, and it's not. I would say it's not some you on a string. I wouldn't even say anymore. I hire you. It's you. When you come to accept it, it's you. Now, I I'm working with you, Sheila. I'm working with you. Okay. 16, because some people actually may be in these conditions she's talking about. It's just for me. I'm just not that. I'm just I'm somewhere in another flux of frequency. I just am. So please understand, I'm not blowing it off for you. I'm just saying, for me, I like knowledge. However, I understand I'm in a place where when I hear something, that doesn't mean I have to fall into it. Do you know when people are not being honest with you? Number 16. Certain zodiacs know that anyway, based on how you program and your intuition. However, sometimes I would say this: what we're picking up on is the person's, like when you take a lie detector test, you can feel that person is hiding something. That doesn't mean that they're lying about what they're saying. That just means that they're not telling you everything. But that doesn't mean if you ask a question that they're lying to you. So sometimes that's what I know. For me, that's what I pick up sometimes. Hey, you holding something back. But let's say I ask my husband a question and he gives an answer. That doesn't mean he's lying. That just means that in his mind he has something else he wants to say and he hasn't said it. And so I'll be like, mm. And he'd be like, what you talking about? I'm just saying. And then we'll start talking about it. And then later on we'll laugh about it, because like, it's good we talked about it. Okay, number 17. Do you feel like something is different or has happened, but you don't know what? That could come from just childhood trauma as a baby. Um, uh, there's a lot of stuff that go on with people as children that you just don't recall, but you have a feeling that something. Yeah. Do you have mental confusion? Okay, y'all. Number 18. Sheila, really? Mental confusion. In today's world, everybody better have a little mental confusion, because all of this busy, 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 and even people that aren't busy, 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 and they're just hungry. You have mental confusion because you're eating too much junk food. You have mental confusion because you took Corey 19, and that It's not so much a weapon, but that pow pow chewing gum. I'm just messing with the algorithm right now. Uh, that that going to his party when he turned 19, because everybody was on TV telling you too. Even Biden and Kamala and Trump. Everybody was telling you too. And nine times out of 10, that's why you don't see Diamond anymore on the land of the living. Because I believe Diamond believed Trump's statement. Missile girl. I love that commentary. All right, so just had to say that. So you need to think for yourself, people. Because if you don't think for yourself, you will have mental confusion. What does the book say? You'll be tossed to and fro. Like a chaff that the wind driveth away. See, I learned stuff. I know I can quote scripture like you don't forget what you know. When I was in that world, I know everything I know still in that world. Have I changed? Yes, I'm more transparent. I try to be transparent then, but I'm just so less of groupthink. I'm so less of neediness. I'm so less of debauchery and putting myself down and oh, I need thee. Oh, I need thee every hour. I need thee. Oh, bless me now, right now. See, I bless myself. God bless yourself. Speak life unto yourself. Come on, move forward. You got to talk to thine own self. Reason with thine own self. You got to move, Okay, number 19, move on in your life. You got to. 19, are you experiencing partial or full memory loss? I'm not young no more, so memory loss. It may have been from all them years of Kool-Aid I was drinking. For real Kool-Aid. All them years of Funyuns. All those years of eating beef and nowadays GMO food, bioengineered food. That's why I eat organic and at least 95% of the time I eat organic or non-GMO. I'm always trying really hard to keep chemicals out as best as possible, or let's say chemicals that we know for sure, the FDA knows for sure that's causing enlargements of cells that don't supposed to be in your body. Okay, so let's move forward. Do you feel this? Am I on number 17? Oh, yeah. No, I'm not. Actually, I'm way down here at 20. I must be hungry. See, memory loss. See it. Just life, y'all. Just life. 20. Are you feeling like you know something that other people don't, but you can't remember what it is? Like, okay, I'm not going to make a joke of this. Because you can look around the whole world and you know something. And you're looking around saying, I know something, but don't seem like they know it. Isn't that vague, y'all? I know something, but y'all, you don't know it. But I can't remember what I know. It's just too much. Sheila doing too much here. Sheila, you're doing too much. Sheila, that's what did my husband call that? Buffoonerism. No offense. It sounds a little bit buffoonerism, but teachers out. This is still some information. Don't want to be too critical. Number 21, do you have a new sense of mission? You have a new sense of mission when you realize that, hey, if I would just stop eating that non-GMO sugar or that GMO sugar 5 years ago, I would be wearing right now 125 pounds. Okay, exactly. Or those soda pops, Coca-Cola, Sprite, not putting any of them down, Fanta, but I'm just saying in particular, that kind of sugar is GMO sugar. That kind of sugar jacks your mind up, makes you addictive. Try to go without it off cold turkey. Let's see how you treat people in 3 days. Go for it. Yeah. Okay. I already went through it. So I've switched my quote unquote sugars to organic or honey. But a lot of times I feel even better when I just don't eat sugar at all. Poor husband those first 3 days whenever I transition out of anything. I love him to pieces because he'd be looking at me like, who is this? Who is this I'm dealing with? And please don't let him do without sugar. Okay. Even though we have transitioned to less chemicalized sugar. Let's put it like that. Mm, Number 22. Do you have a feeling of being more balanced? Yeah, you feel more balanced. I'm going to speak for myself. I feel more balanced because I'm going within and dealing with stuff. I feel more balanced because I'm facing the unknown. I'm saying, look, let's deal with it. Meaning I know there's a part of me that don't like to deal with stuff. There's a part of me that don't like to deal with stuff, and I'm gonna deal with it. And as long as I say, hey, I know this isn't me. This fear isn't me. This anxiety isn't me. This. When you go through, I don't know if anybody ever went through this stage in life where you feel like, what is even the point? That isn't me. That's something going on that I need to deal with. Like that's a heaviness of perpetually paying bills, maybe a heaviness of perpetually not being named the best parent of the year by half of your kids, and you'd be like, I sacrificed myself. I literally went without so you could have. They have no idea the stuff you go without so they can have, and you don't even say nothing. You just, you know that extra food on their plate when you're young. I know my husband and I, we were in our 20s, and our first group of kids, and then our 30s, our second group of kids, and it was like, if they only knew why dad had to work so hard. If y'all only knew that we were like, you have standards. I'm not gonna be on the system. And a lot of times I had to definitely come home and be home because it was easier for us to save money by me being at home and figuring out how to adjust that way instead of me being super busy. Though I have a university degree, and definitely I've used it off and on. However, we've had so many children through these 30 plus years of being married that we still have two at home. We've had children through the entire marriage, every decade we've had a group of kids. Every decade, a group of kids. No joke. We've have we changed? Yes, we've changed. Do I feel like I have a new husband? Yeah, I be looking at him sometimes. Who is it over there? But then I realize, no, he's just only he's monitoring himself now. He's choosing how he wants to be now. He's choosing that every voice of wind that come to your ear, I don't have to listen to that. If something stupid come to you, in the wind, move around. You might have to say that out loud. Move around. You got time for that craziness? Move around. Because if you hear a thought outside of you, and oh, I needed that thought. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Next thing you know, that person, that flux, gonna want to come and enter you and be your friend. And every day want to be your friend. So you have to be really mindful not to have your imagination playing with you too much. You have to just start telling stuff. Move around. If you hear it from the inside, that means someone's already there. Some people, well, that was just the Holy Ghost. It's a ghost. Is it holy? You sure? It ain't grandma, is it? It ain't great 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 granddad, is it? I'm just asking. Because you got their DNA, and they may have a doorway. You don't know everything, and you only reading out of one or two books. Okay? So don't be so smart mouth. Don't be so arrogant to think you know everything. Don't be so arrogant. Because I got the one, so I know everything. Go within. Face the things that we think are unfaceable. This year I'm going to do something, but I'm going to do it during a time where it's not expected to do it, because it's just time to sit down and talk to this person about some things that to me are simple now, but to maybe to that person they're not simple. And I want to do this because that whatever it is can be definitely destroyed, broken. And it's not just for me, but for the person themselves, you know. And like when like even now when I'm doing a video, sometimes the atmosphere shifts, and I can tell sometimes when I've said something, and you have seen and unseen help. Sometimes angels, sometimes it's negative forces, and sometimes what you say, sometimes the flux don't like it, and so you have to say, look, flux, whatever you be, move on around, move on around, move on around, because ain't nobody gonna control here. I'm just giving y'all some tips. You literally have to understand we're in this dimension and there are other dimensions. And you just got to tell stuff. Look, I ain't trying to offend nobody. Got to move. Move on. If you don't like me, what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, move on. Because ain't nobody controlling this. Ain't nobody controlling this. I'm the author, the finisher, the developer of my life. I don't even have to live by faith. I don't have to walk by faith. Okay? Okay, so anyway. I really went out there, didn't I, y'all? I'd be really going out. I do my videos the way I want to do my videos because I swear, if there was no subscription button and you still can come on this platform and just do videos, which you can, I I would still do videos without. Oh, good. I got some subscribers. Good, 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 good. Appreciate y'all on the highest regard. I don't even know how y'all tolerates me. Because I'm just too real. I'm just too honest. I'm just who I be. Okay? I'm not trying to impress anybody. Sorry. Okay, so let's move forward. You're welcome. Let's see. And I'm not moving forward because I'm on some timeline. I'm learning every day, girl. Just do you. Girl, do you, girl. Do you, do you, do you. Okay, so let's see here. Because I always go back and watch these videos. I'll be tickled. Uh, 23. Are you experiencing unexplained bouts of sadness or depression? Now they say unexplained. Y'all, everything explained. Sheila, everything is explained. Everything. Why? Because you can go. Let's say you have allowed a walk-in to comfort you, and this walk-in comforting you is really. Let's say a walk-in committed suicide, and this walk-in see you and you depressed. So this walk-in says, "Ooh, I can enter this person because they're at the low state of mind I was before I committed suicide." And this person knew they didn't have to leave the earth. I know y'all amazed to hear that, but it's true. And so they like, I can experience some life through this person. And then they enter you and they feel like, okay, well, now, it's not all the time well-intentioned people that enter you. I know y'all think it is, but it ain't. I know everything that they say, let it enter you. Everything, be filled with this, be filled with that. Lay your life down, pick up another life. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, you're gonna be so shocked to find out who some of these people be. Like, when someone had an immaculate conception, the walk-in was inky. Cause this person's name actually was with a Y, which was actually Joshua, who ain't even that name ain't even. Let's move on. Let's move on. I'm just dropping too many coins that people may not be ready for. Okay, to each his own. So bouts of sadness and depression. So you have to be really careful with that because yes, that do believe people can ancestry spirits, because it's attached to your DNA, actually can access you. But people who are of that same depressive flux can. That's why I always say, look, let's not get it twisted. The seen and unseen that be around me every day. Don't get it twisted. Just because it look like I'm at a low moment, they don't give you access to come over here and let's say the person on the land of the living. The scene. I'm going through something. That don't mean come over here and try to give me sugar, husband, and caress me, husband. Stay in your place. Stay in your place. We got a time and a place for that. So, don't move on people when they're going through something in that kind of way. You might give them a word of encouragement. You may tell them what it is you was thinking when you went through that and how you got through it. But don't go over there rubbing and caressing and trying to get sugars. Don't be trying to put all your energy on people. Put your energy in people. Okay? And then the unseen, same thing. When you're going through something. Oh, this life is a drift. Oh, I got them 5 Core 19 invasive uh, starship kind of, and now I feel like I shouldn't have got it because I feel like something's going on in my DNA. Yeah, your DNA got some stuff. Okay, it did. However, make sure that even though your DNA got some stuff from Corey's birthday party, he was spicing people's punch. Understand, because Biden got spice and Kamala got spice on TV. That punch. Understand, even though you walked in with your vacuum, because that's what you have to come in. The initial in front of the vacuum. That's what you got to come in with. Into Corey's 19th birthday party. I'm just trying to tell y'all. So anyway, that stuff can open doors, which it did to a lot of people. That's why they see shadow people and all this, because now you're you're a doorway open for things to enter. I don't care if you're a Christian, a Muslim, a Buddhist, a Confucianist, a lodge member, a Shriner, Rosicrucianers, whoever you be, in the earth, above the earth, on the earth. Did I say in the earth? Wherever you be, if you decided to jump on the bandwagon with the whole world, when everybody decided the whole world was going to end and everybody need to get themselves a backpack on with booster power from Corey's 19th birthday party. But anyway, so when you're going through something, and let's say you say, "Oh, I really need help through this," and then you feel like you're starting to get help, and then sometimes you feel like you're getting bullied. Or let's say this walk in, the one that wants to commit suicide, maybe he liked this certain female, but you didn't think she looked that good. Let's say I'm a female. Let's say I like this certain guy, and let's say I got to walk in because I'm going through depression or suicide thoughts, and let's say he don't like the guy because he don't look good to him. He don't look good to me. Well, then if I gotta walk in as a guy, which now gonna tell me be interested in girls, DID, dissociative identity disorder. That's what it's called, DID. Dissociative identity disorder. We learned that in psychology courses 400 level. However, I ain't gonna go there. So knowledge is power. So this is what's be going on with these people. You got to come out of depravity. You have to come out of neediness. You got to come out of, without folks, I can do nothing but fail. Without this person, I am nothing. I'm weary, wounded, and sad unless I join this group or be part of this congregation. You're in trouble. You're in trouble because at the end of the conversation, unless let's move forward. I can say so much. So I don't know if I read 24. Let's see. 24. Do you experience feelings of being disconnected to those around you? You can feel that based on the fact that everything you see look like a lie. Food prices a lie. Last year, you could get a loaf of bread. 2 years ago, you could get a loaf of bread for 88 cents, maybe $1.25. Now, bread $3, $4, $5, $6. What the? I'm disconnected. There's a disconnection going on here. There's a disconnection. When tissue paper used to cost, a whole case used to cost $13.99 at Sam's Club, and now it's $22. I'm disconnected. This is a disconnect going on here. A disconnect. When phones, you could buy phones used to cost $200 some, and now they're $1,000. Come on, people, there's a disconnect going on. I can name it over and over and over. Car insurance. Full coverage. You get car insurance full coverage for maybe $115. Now full coverage, baby. I ain't talking about my Mercedes, my brand new Mercedes, but I'm saying any car over $200. Don't get me started with the gas prices that used to be $1.30 some cent. And I ain't talking about my Mercedes that's $3 and something. I'm talking about regular cars. I ain't talking about Supreme gas. I'm talking about regular cars. Gas still over $2 and something. 3 maybe. Who knows? At this point, it fluctuates. Pick a number, any number. What pump? Pick a pump, any pump. They all high. Ridiculous. And please don't call yourself trying to eat out. Okay. Okay. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. You're not going to leave. I'm talking about really eating out. I'm not talking about this fast food stuff. I'm talking about eating out. You might as well just save that money and pay your water bill. There's a disconnect going on here. There's a disconnect going on. There's such a disconnect going on that people waking up. Waking up to what? This is a game of buffoonerism. Buffoonerism. You have to actually be strategic when you buy stuff. You'll go in that store one month, something will cost $29.99. You go into the next month, it's $49.99. I got a video showing that. I went into Costco, got a container set that was $29.99. A month later, or 3 weeks later, my son-in-law heard about it. He was like, Mom, where did you get that from? Oh, Costco, son, let's take you up there. He went in there with $49.99. My daughter looked beside his head like, if you think we getting that. He still wanted it because he saw how useful it was for us. However, there is a disconnect going on. There's a disconnect going on where we won't work for less than nothing. So the aliens from outer space are coming and they're taking jobs. What you doing about my mailbox? Because I'm definitely looking at you. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Unless you deliver it, keep it moving. Exactly. Because, you got to talk to folks when they be up to no good. Probably if the person up to no good, they might need to see that camera there. There's a camera here. There's a camera there. Go around the block. There's another camera at the back. And then on the other side, there's a camera. So make sure you just pick the right house. Thank you very much. Because there is a disconnect going on with the point where you have to have cameras. Because people out here trying to connect to your stuff for free. All right, so let's move forward. I was just looking at my camera. Okay. And I'm looking at 3 cameras, not just one. Not my Nest camera. I have internal cameras as well. My husband's very intelligent. He's in that field of experience. And she need to be at work. Don't get me started, y'all, looking at my camera. Or maybe he's coming to her house. But anyway. I am something else, I know. Number 25. Have you experienced changes in your health? Either of symptoms going away or a host of new symptoms arriving. Now, because of Corey, who's 19, 2020, 2023, and Mr. Na administering his party invitations with messages of come to his party or you can't go on your vacation. Go to Corey's party and get Corey's juice or you ain't going to be able to keep your job. Have you experienced changes in your health? A lot of people have because of that. Either of symptoms going away or a host of new symptoms arriving. Y'all, Sheila, this life, baby. But for those folks who this may apply to, who need this to apply to them, look, I'm telling you, even if this apply to you, you can tell any and everything. You got to move. This artificial life we're living in that was made, we greater than it. And I understand these folks want to live your glorious life. I understand these walking, seeing how glorious you're living and how awesome it is. And they're just waiting on you to have a bad day. They're just waiting on you not to get a Valentine card or gift or a jewelry or something. Or they're just waiting on your spouse to just say, you just a nobody. They're just waiting on your mama to reject you. They're just waiting on you to be cheated on over and over and over. So then they can tell you need them. See, and that's the reason why a lot of people say I can't be possessed because I'm already been born again or reincarnate. I'm already filled with blah 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 blah. I know folks who born again and all that and have serpentine spirits in them. Why? Because you can house many things. But they are two different kingdoms. Are they really? Do you know who Inky is? Do you know who Enlil is? Inky's the serpent of the tree, but Inky also genoed. He's a scientist, a humanoid serpentine who genoed let us make man. He genoed the DNA. So it is what it be. Maybe you're dealing with that. Maybe we all deal with that. Like my husband said, shoot, I'm sure we all still got some of Inky's DNA. I'm sure. That don't make you evil. Don't make you good. It just means you need to spend time working on yourself. Not beat yourself up. Just work on yourself. How do you work on yourself? Get you a planner. Make in the back a notation of the things you love to do by yourself. Go back in your memory and say, what did I used to love doing as a kid? That's simple, that I could do by myself. Not with my spouse, not with my children, not with my sisters, my brothers, my cousins, my nieces, my nephews, my uncles, my aunties, my grandma, my grandpa, my friends. Me, myself, and I. My spirit, soul, and body. Then get to trying to make those things a habit. And then bring in other people during other times you can spend time with who don't nucify you. And if they do nucify you, when you know that this is the person that at any moment can set you off, because he's so opposite of you, that you have to just say, you know what, this person definitely is a quality person. I'm not going to be triggered because I need people to be like me, talk to me, act like me. They're the only people I can deal with. No, if the person's a quality person and you just have moments of bouts, then just adjust yourself to understanding that this person is useful for helping me work out the things that should not be in me, because you don't want anybody hiding in you. You know? You don't want anybody hiding in you. And if you do have someone hiding in you, you may have to sit down and say, hey, what is your purpose? How useful are you to me? What are you getting out of this? What you getting out of this? I am the author, the developer of all parts of me. And you got to get all hate out of you. You got to go through your trauma, remembering the bull crap, and then say, you know what? That person's only human. If you've been groomed, you got to go through all that. Hey, those people were probably groomed themselves. They're only human. If your parent was a crackhead, a meth head, a fentanyl user, you don't know what they've been through prior to having you. You know? If your dad or mom was an alcoholic, a pedophile, an incest kind of person, you really, in order to make sure you're not walking around, when they perish, when they leave here, their body perish, you don't want them to say, oh, I'm going to go live in my child. Now the person not on the outside of you getting on your nerves. Now you've opened up the door for them to get on your nerve for eternity until you leave the body. Think about it. Maybe you just need to free yourself so that before your loved ones die or have died, you won't make a doorway for them to enter into you. Because you deprived, depressed, and let down by them. So now you leaving the door open for them to be able to, you know, when your body hurting, you don't know why it's hurting, and the doctor say she don't know why it's hurting, it might be something there. Is it during your hormone time? Is it during the time, guys, when you're drinking those 5-hour energy shots, drinks, whatever the little sip things are? Monitor yourself. Get a planner, a day planner. I say a day planner. I would say a week planner, but for this kind of stuff, get a day planner. Make videos. Just show certain parts of your life so you can review them. This is why I do videos. I'm managing this life. I am maximizing this experience. Yes, I have to. Because you know what? At the end of the conversation, I was 40 plus years into a belief system that I duly was in love with. However, as time went on, the more knowledge I got, the more I understood that I have to change. I have to change because I've always been a person of truth and seeking truth. I've always been a truth seeker. I've always been like, 100% person. Like I'm 100% baby. 100%. I'm 100% person. I'm the kind of person that if you all about bull crap, or you all about excuses, you don't want to be around me. Because my real life, me being legit, I may not say a mumbling word to you, but you looking over here at me may cause you to look at your life. I don't have to say a thing to you, but I'm going to be me, and I'm going to love you. I'm going to treat you fair. And if you don't know how to treat people fair, you may not want to be around me. See, if you can't be yourself 100% all the time, see, I'm me no matter where I'm at. I talk like this no matter where I'm at. And sometimes when I'm talking to people and I know that they're of a certain genre or belief system or affiliation or something, I do try to make people comfortable. So I do know how to say what I'm going to say using their terminology because I'm not trying to change them. I'm not looking over there saying you need what I got. If you don't have what I got, you gonna perish. No, I ain't got time to mess with people like that. I know better than that. I'm not stuck inside of a cube or a construct, a dogma. Let's move forward. Okay, almost finished. The health changing in health is just from eating tater chips and drinks and hamburgers and fried fish and anyway. yeah. Number 26. I need to drink a sip of water because I don't want to be taking no cough drop. Excuse me. 26. Are you hypersensitive to others' feelings and emotions? That's, when you be like that, that's because you're just unsure of why you're here and who you be. And you want somebody to love you for you. And so you're hypersensitive because you just want somebody just to see the good in you. And what do people tend to see? The crap you do. Now, a lot of times, sometimes people see the good you do when it's in suit of getting something from you. See? Then they'll see all the good you do. They won't tell you do nothing wrong because they later on they want something from you. Husband and wives understand that thing. 27. Do you have new talents and skills? Do you? I've always been an artist. I've always been organized. I just fine-tuned it by focusing on it and by consuming content that's in that field like me, so I can harness my skills to make them even better. Like Kobe Bryant said about he watched the greatest people. And so when you watch the greatest, you become either like them or greater than them. Hey, that's what happens. So you get to, yeah. That's why I said, hey, you don't have to agree with everything that I'm speaking of. Listen, don't be moved in your feelings just because I'm in a place of understanding that half of you probably saying, once you just get to the point. Oh, I forgot to say this. There is not getting to a point in my life because that means that there is an end to something. Like if you could type at, let's say 40 now, you can type at 60 and you haven't practiced it, you might need to sit down and say, hey, what's going on here? Who's in my fingers? Do I give you permission to be here? What am I dealing with? Why are you in my fingers? Reason with thine own self, okay? 28. Are you having out-of-body experiences, OBE, astral travel, or astral projection? So the reason why I think she's asking this is because people that have out-of-body experiences, OBEs, tend to either come like that, attached to a certain kind of, you're in a family like that, your DNA has that experience in it from your lineage. But these people also tend to be people who want to experiment, people who want to, in this physical body, go out of this body. They want to know now. It's like Burger King. They got to have it their way. Astral travel or astral projection. Yeah, they tend to have guides. They tend to be open to walk-ins, like for real walk-ins. They like, oh yeah. I got 8 walk-ins, and some of them are my family members. They're like okay with sharing their life, even though they hear chatter in their head all the time. Uh, that's a person who just don't want to be alone. You just don't want to be alone. That's proof that you need to deal with yourself. A lot of these people who do this astral projection or astral traveling are okay with the collective way of thinking. They're okay with it. But what if a day comes and they don't want to be part of it? Are you gonna be willing to tell them they got to move? Because I'm sure those folks who are traveling with, let's say they traveling with Megatron. I've heard about Megatron, and Megatron, takes people through gateways and doorways that normally they wouldn't be able to get through because they don't remember. I'm not saying that this Megatron is actually the person. The person knows this isn't them. But what I'm saying is that these people tend to be people that are not hippie people, but sort of kind of hippie people where you have that freedom mindset because you want to. I was raised a certain way, and my upbringing sort of kind of causes me to be cautious about spiritual things, even though, like I'm a dreamer, and I dream a lot, and I make videos about dreams. I have a whole channel at one point about dreams, and I dream about a lot of stuff that's going on now. That's the reason why I know about it. And people say, well, that's because there's some other you. No, it was me. It's me. It's me. I don't have a string attached to me somewhere else. It's me. It's me. Do I have do I have angels and help? Yeah, I've seen them in dreams. Uh, Family members, I don't know about family members because they probably wouldn't want to be bothered with me. But I've had where my life has been in danger many times, and I've had it where uh, I, I've had help show up and have to manifest, and then go on their way. So, but I always say, anything beyond that, please. Okay, so if you've answered yes to a majority of these questions, it's possible that what? It is possible that it's possible that there are walk-ins. But there is only one way to know for sure. Ask yourself, trust your inner knowing. See what I'm saying? If you have an inner knowing, your inner knowing, then your inner knowing, that means you're aware, like your inner knowing. How would you not know if you double speak here? Double speak sound like a Sheila. Trust your inner knowing. If the person's at the point where they know their inner knowing, wouldn't they already know without questioning that they have inner help and outer help, or out they have help? Help on what though? What are we supposed to be doing? Being perfection? No, I think we're supposed to be about getting out of the low fluxes, because the low fluxes keeps you from being available to potential. You want as much potential for your next moment as possible. You don't want to hinder yourself. And I'm gonna tell you, sometimes leaning to other people's understandings, whether inside help or outside help, whether religious help or spiritual, so-called spiritual help, ancestral help, I would just tell people, pursue yourself, spirit, soul, body. Pursue that. Work on that. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, and thanks for watching.